Hi, good night, good night, good night. Welcome to Conversation with Rickford Burke. Of course, this is Rickford here in New York. Thank you for joining me. Share the link, everybody. As usual, share the link. I am here live. Let me get some likes. Let me get the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Share the link. Tonight, we have a very important topic. I'll be talking about secure elections in Guyana. Why is the PPP so scared, afraid of a secure election system in Guyana? Why? I tell you why. I'll tell you why tonight. Share the link. Get into all your Guyanese groups. Share the link. If you're watching me from YouTube, subscribe to the page. If you're watching me from Facebook, like, follow me. I'll come and shout out some of you guys tonight. Before I get started, proper into the subject. Um, directed me to go left, right. Anyway, so share the link, everybody. I'll be back again on Sunday. Share the link. You know, we have a time change here in the United States, so the show is going to be aired 1 hour later live in Guyana. Our time has gone back 1 hour. So tonight, you know, we had some shifts in some other talk shows in Guyana, so we made some accommodation for that. But we here, we live. Share the link, everybody. Get into all your Guyanese groups. Share the link. If you're watching from here in New York, good night. If you're watching from on the East Coast of the United States, good night. If you're watching on the West Coast, good evening to you. Europe, my friends in Japan and Germany, United States Army, United States military, the combined military, good night to you. You're in for some turmoil here in the United States military. All kind of crazy people getting nominated left, right, and center in the new Trump administration. If you're watching from Europe, good night. Good morning, sorry. If you're watching from Africa, good morning. And I know lots of you from Nigeria. What? So good night. I never say good night to the people in Nigeria. But every night we have at least 200-300 people watching from Nigeria. Good night to you. Good morning to you, rather, Nigeria. Good morning. Share the link, everybody. I'll be back in 60 seconds for the shout out and to start the show. Share the link. All right, welcome back to Conversation with Rickford Burke. Here we go. Let me give some of you a shout out. Arlene Daniels, good night, watching from Guyana. We're in Guyana. Arlene, good night, Miss Booker. Donnet Booker. Good night, June Daniels McKinnon. Good night, Samantha Porter. Where you guys are watching from? Say, let me know. They're not saying where they're watching from. They're scared. They're scared. Share the link, everybody. Kenneth the Floorman, good night. Watching from Maryland, Washington, Maryland area. Sorry, Fort Washington, Maryland. Big up, Maryland. Thank you guys for voting in Angela Hasselberg to the United States Senate, Maryland. Thank you. Maxine Monroe, good night. Fire. All right. Diane Grizendi. Darian Lawrence, good night. Good night, Janice Johnson. Good night to you. Watching from Brooklyn is Eon Bino. Randolph Mars, good night. Nigel Prince, good night. London. Good morning to you, Nigel. How is London? London, England. Good morning, Rajan Bim. Watching from Lodge, good night to you. Pauline Welsh. Wilton Blue, good night. Chair Chapel, good night. Watching from Georgetown, Guyana. Desiree Manuel, good night. Hello, Queens. Watching from Queens. Good night, everybody. Come and share the link. Get everybody up. Dude. Bartica people, all right. Let me see who's watching from Bartica. Queens in the house. Paulette Pollard, good night. Lynette Goodman, watching from Barbados. Good night. Sparkling Wills, Linden, good night. Good night, Mr. Jamal Aziz, Berbice, West Coast Berbice in the house. Good night, watching from Montserrat. Hey, I want you all to know they got Burks in Montserrat, and the Burks in Montserrat are from Guyana. All right, that's my people. Good night. Rafik, I'm afraid you're watching at the other show. Sorry, you're watching the wrong show. All right, you need to go over to another. So out you go, ban. I'm gonna ask the moderators to ban him. We don't want trench crappers here. So moderator, please ban that, whoever he is. Good night, Bridget Dublin, watching from New Jersey. Good night, Sharon Joseph, Bartica. All right, my Bartica people. Good night. Where's Simona Brooms there? She's sleeping? Y'all wake someone up and tell her, come on this live. Come on this program. Let's create some havoc. Simona, call me. If you are up, Bartica in the house. Good night. Good night, everybody. All right. We have 7,000 people watching so far. Come on, let's get it to 20,000. Hi, St. Adams, watching from Atlanta. Alex Terrell, watching from, let me know. Birgit Dublin. Hello, Birgit. Watching from New Jersey. Hi, Sharon. Good night. Henry Dublin. Winston Joseph, the backless in the house. Winston, you're right in Brooklyn up the road. Chill. All right. Janelle Prince, watching from, did I say Florida? Yeah, Florida. Abiola Odkirk, Brooklyn. Good night. Mark Adams, watching from Queens. Tony Hack, watching from Jack the Pressure Pop. Where's that, Asparna? All right. Good night. Keep sharing the link, everybody. All right. So listen, there's this big hullabaloo about what is called biometrics, right? Biometrics. Biometrics is a big fancy name for secure registration and secure voting. You have to create the security mechanisms at registration so that you would not be impersonated in the voting booth. This is an education class tonight. That's what biometric means. Biometric means secure voting. Who doesn't want secure voting? Every country in the world wants secure voting, except the PPP government. The PPP government does not want secure voting in Guyana. Don't ask me why. I'll tell you why, though. I think you guys know. Keep sharing the link, everybody. It is unfathomable. The PPP government, Bart Jagdeo and his cohorts, they do not want secure voting in Guyana. They're completely opposed to it. Let me tell you why. In Guyana currently, the population is about 100 and 14,000 is dropped. The government is trying to get the Census Bureau to make up numbers, just like others make up evidence against people. They're trying to get them to make up numbers to say the population has grown. So currently the population is about 710 to 714,000 people. That's what the census, the 2002 census results say. The government has refused to allow the Census Bureau to release that result. And the opposition is not calling for it. I know they're asleep. But we have been calling, CGID has been calling on the government and the Census Bureau to release the census results. People in the Census Bureau tell me they're under pressure not to release the result. You remember when we raised it 2 months ago? The Stats Bureau, Jack Dale and them told the Stats Bureau, issue a statement and say we lied. And they said it will be released very shortly. That's 2 months ago. They ain't released it yet. So here was the thing. Let's do some maths. Y'all take out your pen and paper here. So let's see. So let's say the population, let's put it at 715,000. Right? So listen to this now. The voters list has about 663,000 people. In addition to that, the underage population, which aren't registered, which isn't registered, the people there, those young people, underage population in school, they're not registered. They're not on the voters list. That population is 230,000. The population is about 715,000. The voters list is around 600. And don't hold me directly to the tens to these numbers, but it's around there. The voters list has about 663,000 people. The school population is 230,000 people. The voters list is therefore padded by 178,000 people around there. The voters list has an extra 178,000 people. Starting to get the picture? When the APNU government, keep sharing the link, everybody, was attempting to have these extra names removed from the list, the PPP took the government to court. And the Chief Justice ruled that you can't remove people from the voters list unless they're dead. Now, every day, about 10,000 people leave Guyana, or every week. Let's say a month. Every month, about 10,000 people migrate. Go all over the world. Or maybe not every month. But I know at least 10,000 people leave Guyana annually, maybe that. I don't know. I'm being provocative here, but thousands of people leave Guyana. The Chief Justice ruled and the PPP sought that ruling that those people who no longer reside in Guyana cannot be removed from the voters list ever. Well, I have not lived in Guyana for 30 years. How come my name is off the voters list? My name is not on the voters list. I'm sorry. I guess my name is not Prasad, Singh, or Bihari. So yes, those kinds of names like my Burke and Samson and Williams, when we migrate the tech, we are off the voters list. Because I know I'm not on the voters list. Unless I didn't check right. Keep sharing the link, everybody. So the voters list has been padded since the PPP was in government the first time in the 90s by thousands of people. Now, let's go back to biometrics, which is a fancy name for secure elections. If you implement biometrics, something might go wrong with that extra 178,000 people. The PPP now on that. That's why they're opposed to biometrics. Now, what is biometrics? You guys probably see this thing in the papers. Biometrics basically is biodata, right? Where when you register to vote, they take certain features and it stores it in a profile. It's like at your job. You could go and press that thumb pad and the door opens, or you could go and scan in the retina, the eye scanner, iris scanner, or you put your fingerprint on a fingerprint pad and you can use the photocopy machine. You can open the door. You can access your safety deposit box, whatever. That's a biometric system. It captures and stores your unique feature that cannot be duplicated or impersonated. Facial recognition, fingerprints, eye scan, signature scan and comparison. That's biometrics. So, if Lilauti Harinaran Singh migrated in 1990 to Canada, Alberta, Canada, the PPP cannot store her ID card at Freedom House and then send Savitri something, Hukum Chan something, to vote for her. Because if we implement biometrics, hey, Savitri got scan she eye or put her thumbprint on the fingerprint pad. And it has to go automatically and match her profile thumbprint in the profile stored in the elections database, the voters list database. Secure elections. It begins with registration. The PPP is dead opposed to that. They're opposed to it. Because all them dead people who voted, remember, over 5,000 dead people voted in 2020 for them. And thousands more voted for them who did not live in Guyana. They can't go and vote for them if we got biometrics. So, Guyanese, whenever you hear the term biometrics, it's not a big fancy thing. Replace it with the word secure elections. Secure voting. That's it. Simple as that. Secure voting. No voter impersonation. Nobody voting for nobody. Before you vote, you have to be authenticated by your biometric data. You got to put your thumbprint or do a scanner, facial recognition, eye scan, thumbprint signature. Sign here, please, and you sign. And when you sign your voter registration form, that signature is stored in the database for the Elections Commission. And when you go to vote and they sign you in, it automatically goes to your profile to verify that signature that has been stored there from the time you registered, and it tries to match it. If it is not a match, you're rejected. They now have to put you in a special category for re-verification. They can go to now a secondary source of identification, fingerprint. Zoom goes and tries to match, to authenticate your fingerprint with the one that you stored there when you register. If it doesn't match, you can't vote. Then we might go on a secondary one, facial recognition. Now, the PPP, as you know, installed their chief elections officer, and Claudette Singh, well, Granger installed Claudette Singh. He was, I don't know. But Claudette Singh is apparently, the chairman of the Elections Commission, Claudette Singh, is apparently against secure elections too. Shameful. Shameful. The Elections Commission chairman, who's a former judge, is against secure elections in Guyana. Shameful. If she's not against it, she's certainly not advocating for it. But the Elections Commission Chief Elections Officer, Vishnu Prasad, who the PPP reinstated into GECOM to do their, you know what? He did a study of biometrics. And he didn't try to go in hard to fight for secure elections. Of course not. He's a PPP minion. He said about that thing, everything bad but it. Everything bad but that. I want to, but let me before I go to Vishnu, let me tell you what the PPP said. Bart Jagdeo said the party would support the introduction and funding of enhanced biometrics if the Guyana Elections Commission makes such a decision once next year's general elections are not delayed. Once it's not disruptive, in other words, he knows it can't happen. Because if elections are to be held in August, they cannot get the biometric system up, running, tested, and all that in 8 months. He deliberately kept saying they're against it, and no, the commissioners in the Elections Commission obstructed those proposals, and they waited until December, when it is totally impossible to say, yeah, we're going to agree for it if it could make the elections happen in time, when they know it's not possible. Deborah Ray's report in Jagdeo said they are wary of the opposition's strategies to disrupt the elections. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jagdeo said implementing secure elections. This is Trumpism. Jagdeo said, the PPP representative, to introduce biometrics means to obstruct and delay the elections. When it is Jagdeo from 4 years now have been obstructing the proposal to introduce biometrics, secure voting system. And GECOM, they don't want it. So he's saying, y'all want biometrics, y'all want secure elections, y'all want to delay the elections. Now that does not make sense, because if the elections are delayed, it is to the benefit of the PPP, because their term in office will be extended. Right? So that's not the real reason. He's not concerned about delays. He's concerned that they're going to get caught cheated, or they can't cheat no more. They can't vote for the people abroad. All them people in Canada and Richmond Hill, biometrics can stop them voting for them. So that's what Jagdeo said. Now let's see what Vishnu Prasad, the chief elections officer. I thought I had that here. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can pull it up here and share it with you. I saw an article on it. All right, here we go. Let me share. Let me see if I can share my screen. Keep sharing the link, everybody. All right, here we go. This is a story written by Mark DeCosta. A report on the feasibility of implementing biometric voting has stirred significant debate, with critics accusing the Guyana Elections Commission of presenting arguments that are aligned with the PPP. The report highlights a huge range of concerns, including technical challenges, the high cost of implementation, and the need for constitutional amendment. While the study raises some interesting points, many opposition figures, civil society groups, and ordinary citizens are voicing their support for biometric voting. They want free, secure elections. The feasibility study presented by Prasad, which is the chief elections officer, to the 7-member commission, and there's Prasad there, paints a gloomy picture of caution about biometrics. Among these are privacy issues. Oh gosh, the PPP is very concerned that somebody's going to hack into the elections system and steal the data. That's what Vishnu said. Let me make sure it's Vishnu name. Yeah, Vishnu Prasad. He said the estimated cost to implement biometrics is 20.7 million US dollars. That's one contract that goes to one of Barrett's friends. One contract. So we know that the government has that, they have oil money. Then the report said another obstacle is constitutional amendment. How the hell that could be an obstacle? If the government agrees and the opposition agrees, they just amend the constitution. I don't even think they need that. I don't think they need that, but let's assume that he's correct. Some lawyer advised them that. He said Guyana's constitution does not currently provide for biometric identification at the place of polling. I'm sure it says identification, though. That's why you have ID cards. Well, actually, the Constitution does not require ID cards, so that might be right. The Constitution does not require a specific ID card for voting. He said this would require 43 votes in the 63-member National Assembly, making it a difficult, time-consuming process, especially with the PPP's minority status in Parliament. The PP does have minority status in Parliament. Not sure. The PP got one majority seat. But who the hell cares if the PP get minority or majority status in Parliament? The opposition is saying they want it. Bart is saying, hey, we want it, but wink, 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 we don't want it unless if you're not going to obstruct anything and so on and so on and so forth and so forth. Wink, 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 wink. We don't really want it, but yes, I must say publicly we want it. Well, Bharat, if you agree with it, you can amend the Constitution in 3 sittings. 3 sittings. Just call them one after the other. Bam, bam, bam. Amend the Constitution. So we know that's nonsense. The chief elections officer also highlighted the possibility of system failures, cyber attacks, data breaches, and storage. Guyana has lots of vast amounts of land. Just build a facility for it. Lock it up and put soldiers with big guns to guard it. Simple story. That one. Now, you would believe all of these concerns about cyber attack and data breaches and system failures are real obstacles. They're not. Because whichever company makes that system, they provides all the time, around the clock, on hand, on site, technicians to take care of that. And security, cybersecurity. The technicians will be in Guyana. The cybersecurity experts will be in Guyana. That's why you're paying $20 million. These are non-issues. London, Canada, United States, Brazil, all these countries, they have secure elections. They use computers. Forget the claims of 2020, which turned out not to be true. So here you have, take this off. You have the chief elections officer, who's a PPP, who Claudette Singh voted to install with the PPP people, 3 members on the council, the commission. She's the chair. She voted with the 3 other members of the PPP, 3 other PPP commissioners to hire this man back. He was removed before. So she, Claudette Singh, 80 years old, or how much? She's batting with the PPP. She doesn't want secure elections. Because obviously, if she wants it, she would say so and propose it to the government. Meanwhile, Vishnu dancing, you could get it, but if you get it, you have all these problems. And the problems outweigh the benefits. That's basically what he says. In the meantime, the Elections Commission is making no effort to take those 178,000 people off the voters list. And they give out about 60,000 ID cards to the Venezuelans to vote. See where we're going with this? Let me say this. Like I said during the last local government elections, the opposition has to be bold. No biometrics, no elections. No secure voting, no elections. And let us all pressure the opposition parties to make this their official position. No biometrics, no elections. Don't participate in elections. Why it is you can't have secure voting in that? Why people can't have confidence in their voting? Because some man at Sparndam, who when he was in office, his government stole about 5 billion US dollars. The dictator in chief, the riggers in chief, they don't want it because they want to vote for their people abroad and vote for their people. Come on, opposition, step it up. Do not agree to elections without this. Secure voting. Secure voting. That's what we want. That's what Guyanese must demand. A process that is secure, where you know you vote, your vote will count, and your vote was not impeded, and that your vote has value and would not be diluted by fraudulent ballots placed there by operatives of the PPP. And that's what message I want to leave with you guys tonight. Claudette Singh, stop disgracing Guyana. We know that you're old. We know that you come from an era where it's writing from paper. But for God's sake, at least adopt some modern technology that can give Guyanese the assurance that their votes are secured. That the voting system in Guyana is secure. That it cannot be penetrated by fraudulent ballots. It is outrageous that the Elections Commission which should be advancing at every turn, advancing the elections process, keeping up with modern technology, implementing best practices for voting, implementing proper security procedures. And she is the head of it, Claudette Singh. We cannot continue to be the laughing stock of the world. Country outdated, voting system, paper, X. Statement of poll, shuffle this back and forth, run to region 4 office, drop it off, go to this, drop it off. Electronics. Simple. You come, you sign, your signature is checked, your thumbprint is checked. Yes, Rickford Burke, go and vote. Here's your ballot. That's it. Simple. Why Guyana can't have that? Why the PPP commissioners are teaming up with Claudette Singh to block secure elections in Guyana? Why? We don't care how long it takes. We don't care how much it takes. You got the money. You got the money to hire people abroad to spy on Guyanese. They spent $61 million trying to attack the Washington conference. But they can't have, they don't have money for secure elections. Secure elections. And changing topics. This week, we saw Afrain called a meeting at 5 a.m. He called all his permanent secretaries, all his ministers, and all the contractors. Well, first of all, if I was a contractor, me going away. Me got no contract for come and talk to the president 5 o'clock in the morning. That's not in my contract. So half the contractors weren't there. The big contractors weren't there. Them, you know what? Let's pressure them little small people. But my way, I mean, this guy is so arrogant and imbecilic. I mean, she probably deserve it. Yeah, Priya Manichan, the Minister of Education, stand up like a school child. Where's the minister? Stand up. Where's the PS? Where's the engineer? Where's the contractor? Who the hell contractor coming to report to you? I mean, these guys are adopting all of these communist, Marxist, Russian, North Korean dictatorship, I am leader, I am boss, techniques and style of government. 5:30 in the morning. Well, I don't really care. But the point I want to make is that Afrain Ali himself condemned his own government for gross incompetence. They can't manage projects. Where's the project manager? Are you managing this? Yeah, we get a man on site every day. A man on site every day and no work can be done? Or the work is 6 months behind schedule? Gross incompetence. And I continue to ask, they have withdrawn about 2.5 billion US dollars from the Natural Resource Fund. Where is that money? The Empire State Building, people, which is a building that take over a whole block and gone about 90 stories in the air, costs $1 billion to build. What project or what two project or what set of projects in Guyana can match the Empire State Building, which is almost a wonder of the world? Gone up into the clouds. It is like an entire block. Where is the money? PP must answer for that. Think on these things and join me again on Sunday coming for another edition of Conversation with Rick Burt. Have a good night. Remember, biometrics means secure elections. The PPP is against secure elections because they have an extra 170-something thousand people on the voters list. No biometrics, no clean voters lists, no elections. That should be the mantra in Guyana. Have a good night. See you on Sunday.